back to Dallas, where the Golden Knights beat the Dallas Stars again, and they did it as cleanly as you can probably possibly do it in a road game after the team has come back and lost game one, trying to have a pushback after you're playing against the team that is the number one seed in the West, a team that has scored 3 whatever goals, 3.59 or whatever it is, a team you expect to be able to put the puck in the back of the net against a goalie that we still have some question marks about, and we are having less and less about because he has been better and better as these games have gone on. I'll just start it out by saying this. First of all, I guess I'll start out by saying I'm on the concourse today. You can see the airplanes over my shoulder because it is outrageously loud in the lower bowl because apparently there's a basketball game here. I know nothing about the NBA anymore. I don't care about the NBA. I didn't even know that they were playing here. That being said, be aware that there are going to be outrageously loud noises behind me from time to time because for whatever reason, people love wheeling large carts and things behind me. So you're probably going to hear some of that. Sometimes I can't even hear myself speak. But back to hockey, what happened out there on the other side of that Germania logo, at the other side of that American Airlines flag, inside of the bowl down there, what happened was, and I will say, I'm probably going to sound like quite the homer in this one, and people are probably going to be mad at me in Dallas or maybe in other places or whatever, but the Golden Knights have the answer for the Dallas Stars. The Dallas Stars have no way to come up with what they're doing to how to beat the Golden Knights. They do not know what to do against the way that the Golden Knights are playing. Simply put, the Golden Knights have a plan. They are executing said plan. They have continued to execute said plan better and better and better throughout these two games. And as we've gone along, Dallas has had less and less opportunities, fewer looks, fewer actual chances, fewer answers is really the way that I'll put it. Simply put, the Golden Knights are absolutely dominating through two games. I'm aware the final score of the games is a 1-goal game on one of them, a 2-goal game on this one because of the empty netter. The Golden Knights have not been lighting the world on fire offensively. They're not doing all this where you get all excited where they've scored 7-0 and whatever. No, they came in here with an idea of saying, look, we've played this team before. We know what they want to do. Step one, and I'll walk you through the entire thing right now. Step one, we cannot allow them to get any transition chances. In this entire game, there was basically one time Eichel back checked really well and turned what could have been a 2-on-1 into a 2-on-2 and kind of put it away. The other one was a bad exit. I can't remember who had the bad exit, but Martinez laid down and blocked a play. I'm very fortunate that happened because I would have lost my mind. Everyone knows that if that were to happen. So luckily that did not. But outside of that, no stretch passes that took the Golden Knights apart. No time through the neutral zone to allow them to get speed. Very, very rarely were they even having defensemen join the rush and get anything up the ice against the Golden Knights. Basically, the entirety of step one is do not hand them a goal. Unfortunately, in game one, the Golden Knights kind of handed them two. One, Mark Stone got the puck taken off of him leaving the zone, and then Hanifin overcommitted to expecting Mark Stone to get it out. Understandable. The second one, it was a White Cloud turnover. Thank you. The second one was kind of a good play along the wall by Wyatt Johnston, and then Theodore kind of fit into the middle where McNabb's on the other side. They hit the stretch pass. Ben gets in and makes the play. Today, they had nothing. Absolutely nothing. You want transition? You will get none. That's step one to beating a Pete DeBoer team. You give them no transition, which leads to step two. Step two has multiple parts to it, but the simplest part of step two is do not allow tip chances in front of the goal that the goalie does not have a clear view on it. So normally we talk about get in front of them, box them out, do all these different things, tie up sticks, make sure that they're not getting these chances. One thing the Golden Knights have done a lot better than they had done in the past, and I would even argue all of last series, is they're not allowing the puck to get all the way up to the high slot or up onto the points and allowing these shots. They're really not allowing that much at all. Good pressure up the ice, good job forcing the puck up there, and then having a body up on the ice. This is something that Gerard Gallant talked a lot about against the San Jose teams. He said they're very good at tipping pucks. They're very good at putting points or putting shots from the point. So what we need to do is snuff that out before it even happens. It's very difficult to stop those chances when they come because no one knows where they're going. The puck comes towards the goal. They try to deflect it. Nobody knows where it's going to go. So instead, the idea is challenge them up towards the blue line. We're seeing a lot more of that. They're not getting these chances. I think it wasn't until the third period that they even got one that got on goal. So you look back and you say, why are they not getting the best type of offense that they're trying to generate? And that is because the Golden Knights are playing a slightly different style of getting out there to make sure that they're not getting those chances. The reason, I think, is because of the goalie that they have in the net. They know that Logan isn't as good defending those chances. But what Logan is better at is Logan is a little bit better when there is the scramble in front of him of getting left to right, making that play, finding that puck, and having the athleticism to stop that second chance in the event that usually it comes from a bad angle. If it comes from right out in front, okay, we maybe now have a problem. So what they're doing instead is pushing out all the way to the points to eliminate some of those shots before we even get to that point. And two, as opposed to trying to get bodies in the way and have 6 goalies out there, 5 skaters and the goalie. Instead, it's like, no, let's get the bodies in the right play, allow him to see that, tie up sticks and box out and get our bodies on the right side of the goal so that when the puck gets through, now we have the closest body to the goal. Time and time and time again, it was actually happening more in the little transition moments late in the game when they threw everything at the Golden Knights. It was happening more and more, and there was never Dallas bodies inside of Vegas bodies. Very, very rarely would you see a Dallas player on the inside of the goalie and the next Vegas player. Just didn't happen. That's the plan. That's what they're looking to do. And because of it, Dallas does not have answers. They do not try to generate from underneath the goal. They never try to hit seam passes. They don't try to do much of anything but get that opportunity that the Golden Knights are absolutely smashing, taking away completely. There's nothing there at all. And that is what leads to a team down by a goal for the entirety of the third period, get almost nothing for most of it. Finally, you get down to the last 6 minutes. It's like, all right, caution to the wind. We can't go back to Vegas down 2-0. And they don't even get a shot to the goalie. They did not get a shot in the final 6 minutes of the game. None, 0. They were on 21 for the entire 6 minutes of the game. And they had a lot of zone time. That's because of excellent defensive sticks. That's because of playing the structure that they want to play. That's because this team understands how to beat the other team's strategy. And to me, I haven't watched it yet. I will get a chance to watch the Pete DeBoer comeback. I do not believe there's any chance that they're going to win, that Dallas is going to win this series playing that style. They have to have a complete style overhaul. And if we've watched Pete DeBoer long enough, he ain't going to do it. So I feel unbelievably comfortable at 2-0. The Golden Knights are going to win this series. I'm very confident. Like, I was not all that confident coming in. I picked Vegas in 7. I thought it was going to be a difficult series. I do not have any concerns at all. And I'm well aware. You're the homer. You're the guy from Vegas. I understand it. I was talking to media here. I was talking to some of the people in the building. Watch the games. Just watch the 2 games. There's no way that you can think that this isn't going to work over and over and over again. Maybe they lose a game because there are some things that don't go the right way. Maybe there's some power play issues. They've only allowed a couple of penalties, or only taken a couple of penalties in the entire period. Maybe something happens. But more than likely, it's much, much, much more of this. So much more. I'm not sure I agree that Vegas attacked all that much more in this particular game than they did in the last game. I know the shot clock says they were a little bit better. I also hate the term shot clock because it's not a clock. Why do we even say that? But to me, It was just better execution defensively than what I thought we saw in the first couple of periods. Or sorry, whatever. First period of this game, first period of last game. I'm going to have to watch them both back. I don't know which third period I like better. I mean, I got to watch them both back because they did have some opportunities in front of the goal. And Vegas' sticks were kind of there. And there was a little bit of desperation there that I thought, like, this is breaking down a little bit. I do think they benefited from the fact that there were only 10 forwards on the Dallas bench as we got down. But as it went on, it just didn't look like at any point Dallas was going to score. I was fairly confident this game is over. I look up, there's 10 minutes left. I started writing. I'm done. We're good. Game over. They will not find a way back into this particular game because they are not going to try and change what they do. This Periscope and all Periscopes are brought to you by the Jimmerson Law Firm. The Jimmerson Law Firm is one of Las Vegas' preeminent law firms, specializing in high-stakes business, civil, and family litigation. When winning matters, seek out the Jimmerson Law Firm. And my road travel, all SinBin road travel, and I will be at every single game in the concourse watching them change the hockey stadium to a basketball stadium. I don't know that we have to do that anything beyond this series, and I don't even know we're coming back here. Don't tell anybody. Is Vegas Night and Day Heating and Cooling. They have sponsored all of my travel. Please take advantage of their offers that I have up on the screen there. 10% off any repair, 5% off new AC systems, and take advantage of their $50 pre-summer maintenance special where they will come out to your house, check all the stuff, do a bunch of twisting, and they get a thing, and they do all this stuff. They had it. I don't even know what's going on. That's why I do this, and they do that. Have the people that know what the heck they're doing come to your house and look at your heating and cooling system. Probably more likely they're going to need to look at the cooling system, getting a little bit warm. God, it was humid here today. I could use some air conditioning in my hotel. It wasn't very good. I could use Vegas Night and Day heating and cooling out here. Please go to vkdac.com. Moving on to what we're going to see moving forward. One of the things that coming into this series that I was quite interested in was why the Golden Knights made the decision to go with Mantha and Howden over Amadio and Dorofeev. I thought you're going to get a little bit more offense out of Dorofeev. You might even get a little bit more offense out of Amadio off of Mantha. I was also a little bit surprised that they went directly back to Carrier-Waugh and Kolazar without maybe saying we have some different options. We can shuffle things around. I'm not surprised about the top, but there were some options. I think we were getting a clue before this series started of what the Golden Knights thought was going to happen in this series, and boy, has it happened to this point. Howden is in there because the Golden Knights don't think they need offense. They think we're going to generate enough offense because reasonably, we probably only need 2 a game. Maybe it takes 3, but the power play is all of a sudden much better. They do not feel like they need offense. So you take out a younger player that's going to make less mistakes, and you put in an older player that's not going to make any mistakes at all and is willing to get to the front, is willing to push the defense back, is willing to allow you to play the forecheck game, which furthers even more of what the Golden Knights are doing to completely and utterly demoralize this Dallas team. This Dallas team is the number 1 seed in the West. They are the 3rd ranked team in scoring. They are excellent in this building. They beat pretty much everybody throughout the entirety of the season. They had a little bit of trouble with some of the Eastern Conference playoff teams. They have been excellent. Before this series began, I declared I think Dallas might be the best team the Golden Knights have faced in any playoff series in their 7-year history. And I'm not even sure I'm changing that. That's how good I think the Golden Knights have been. That's how dominant they have been defensively. And they do not feel like they need to press for offense. When the Golden Knights do not feel like they have to press for offense, you will not beat them if they are sound and sturdy in their own end. They have been that in this series. They're going to get the opportunities. The chances are going to come. Look at the goal. Look at how that happens. They give up the power play. That was a pretty dangerous opportunity. The slash was there. They kind of made a meal out of it. But it's a slash. We go on to the power play. Unfortunately, we end up with a situation where Logan is screened, didn't quite see the shot in time, got a little low into got a little slowly down into butterfly. Puck goes behind him. It's 1-0. Building's rocking. We're getting close to the end of the period. The Golden Knights now in that situation look at it and say, okay, let's just have a good shift out of this. let's have a little bit more of an aggressive offensive shift out of this. They send numbers forward. They have a good opportunity for Michael. The other way, game opens up a little bit. They come back. Barbashev makes a good stick lift, hits that pass up the middle. And there we go. We have this 2-on-0, 2-on-1. Ryan Suter's really bad, so they were able to get that opportunity to catch him off to the side. And there we go. We've got this opportunity that scores the goal right back. This team does not have to press for offense because they are well aware that there will be two things that are going to happen. One, if they defend at the level that they can defend, Dallas will score very rarely. They're not going to score a lot. Secondly, if you do what you can do to Dallas, they are inevitably going to push more and more of their defense higher up the ice, take more risks along the boards, and simple breakouts will lead to opportunities. You saw that a little bit towards the end of the game, not as much as I would have thought. That's the one thing that's been a little bit surprising to me in this series is that we haven't seen that aggressiveness come back from Dallas. You will see Miro way up underneath the circles. Harley is pretty much everywhere. I've even seen Lundqvist jump into the play a number of different times. When that has happened, Vegas has not been able to transition that into hitting a good opportunity and going the other way. Hasn't necessarily happened, but the Golden Knights haven't really needed it. And secondly, the Golden Knights have been leading for the entire series. Basically the entire series. They've been down for 84 seconds or something like that. I tweeted it. They've been up by what is it? What is the number? I want to get the number because the number is ridiculous. The Golden Knights have trailed for 82 seconds and led for 4,784 seconds. They're up by 4,702 seconds after 2 games on the road in a hostile building. That is why they do not have to press. When you're winning, why are you pressing for offense? Why are you taking the slightly riskier pass? The last thing that is really going Vegas's way is the style of play that Dallas is trying to deploy in their own end, which is safe and sound getting it out. They will take the controlled exit when they can get it, but if it's not there, they shoot it up and shoot it out. They shoot it off the boards. They shoot it up high. They take icings quite a bit. When that's happening, it's usually supposed to lead to the other team not spending a ton of time in the offensive zone and the other team eventually breaking structure, coming up with a play, to having that turnover, and it leading to transition opportunities the other way. The Golden Knights have made a seemingly concerted effort to say we are not going to make that mistake near the blue line and give them these opportunities. The number of times that we've seen even more than 2 guys on the wrong side of the puck. So what I mean on that is when the puck turns over, when the Golden Knights have it, and then suddenly they don't, there are how many players between the Vegas goal and the puck? So on the proper side to defend, don't have to chase back. There's usually at least 3. Sometimes, and almost always, it has been 4. When you don't make any of those mistakes, now they're just going to flip the puck out, and you're going to be able to gather it and come right back in. Vegas has not dominated this series on the forecheck. Vegas has not dominated this series on controlled entries. Vegas has not spent a ton of time in the offensive zone, yet they have found a way to score plenty enough goals to take leads and hold leads in this series, and they have not had the situation where, outside of a little bit in the second game, but they were leading for a good portion of it, had the situation where Dallas has you hemmed in and you're the one drowning as you can't get it out. Vegas has been able to play enough in the offensive zone, utilize their safe exits, and come right back at them, even if that doesn't mean a ton of offense going the other way. That is how Vegas has taken exactly the plan of what they wanted to do. Coming into this series, I was not sure whether it would go as straightforward as what Vegas wanted it to. We knew the blueprint. We've seen a Cassidy DeBoer series. We've seen DeBoer play against Travis Green. We've seen DeBoer play against Dom Ducharme, who's also on Vegas's bench, who also beat DeBoer in a playoff series. They know what DeBoer teams do. They understand how to go about defending what DeBoer teams do. That being said, this team is better. This is arguably the best team Pete DeBoer has ever had. There was a Sharks team back in the day that maybe was better. some of the Vegas teams along the way. Possibly there were some injuries along the way. They still had some issues. It's close. This is a very good team, but the talent alone is not going to allow them to take control of what's going on in this series, because they're not going to have the right tools to unlock a defense that is packing it in and allowing the goalie to see the shots. You're shooting these shots from the outside. Then they're really not even getting all that many of them. But when they are, Vegas has the bodies in the right place. They're defending in the right way. You can't break the defense down that much. You think back to pretty much every single great opportunity that Dallas has gotten in this series. I might argue all of them, including the one where they got the penalty drawn that led to the goal today against for Dallas. It has come on breakdowns in regarding to there's some sort of chaos going in the offensive zone. They're not hitting seam passes and ripping Vegas apart. They're not getting out in transition outside of last game for the 2 goals in the first period. They're doing absolutely nothing at 6-on-5, like nothing at all. And Vegas is doing exactly what they came in wanting to do. Like, it's wild to me, because if you were to just take if somebody were to cut up all the clips and say all the clips that Cassidy showed his team before this series, there's going to be like 7 different categories of things they're doing. And Vegas is doing all 7, all of them, absolutely perfectly. I am starting to wonder, and I will throw this out there, I'm looking grander. I'm starting to look to the grander picture. I think I'm done with this series already. I think the Golden Knights have won this series. Call me crazy, whatever. Am I going to eat my words down the stretch? Maybe. But I'm done with this team. I don't think Pete DeBoer's team is going to change. I don't think the Golden Knights need to change. I expect this series to continue going the exact way it's going to go. Maybe Dallas finds a way and forces me to get back on a plane and come back out here instead of starting to look towards Winnipeg or Colorado. But I just don't think there's much of a chance that they're going to come back, because I don't think they're going to do anything different moving forward. So I'm starting to look at the grander picture. What are we actually seeing from this Golden Knights team compared to ones that have won in the past? Have they taken a step forward? There's an argument they absolutely have. There is also an argument, and I will just flat out say it, that maybe the matchup against this team is so darn good that it makes Vegas look so much better, and it's allowing them to get some sort of trying to think of what the word is. Like there's like a level of consistency that has been there in this series, that, or at least through 2 games, that I don't know that I trust based on 82 games in the past. But when I think about how good is this team, how dangerous can this team be, and how can Vegas put out a plan and follow that plan and immediately rip them to shreds in their own building? I understand they are up by 3 goals in 2 games. I get it. But to me, both of these games, Dallas had 0 chance of winning as the game wound down. Vegas is up by 2 in the first game. There's no way they're getting 2 on the way that the Golden Knights were defending down the stretch. This game up by 1. There was no way they were even getting it. They didn't even get a shot. They didn't get a shot for 6 minutes. I can't get off of that. They didn't get a shot for 6 minutes down the stretch in this game. That's how good Vegas was defensively. It's excellent. Absolutely fantastic. So now I'm thinking, all right, if they're better than last year, or are they better than last year? That's kind of, I guess that's the question I'm starting to ask, is like, all right, is this an excellent matchup? Is this where we were last year, where it's like, well, yeah, we beat Dallas a couple of times in the first couple of games, and then beat him in the 3rd game when Jamie Benn did something dumb. Are we just right back there? But that team ripped apart everybody else in front of them, ripped apart the team after them. I'm not quite there declaring them better than last year's team, but stay healthy and maybe. That being said, you've already got 1-man game lost on the defense. That's equal to last year. If Nick Hague doesn't play the next game, they will equal or pass last year's man games lost on defense from last postseason. Will be 3 games in. They will have passed it. Offensively, Nick Waugh got hurt for a second. Keegan Kolazar got hurt for a second. Kolazar was in the locker room chatting. I do not believe that there's going to be anything wrong with him. Hanging out, eating a burrito. That was kind of funny. And we'll see what happens to Wah. That one looked pretty bad. Wouldn't shock me if there's a foot injury there, and he was kind of hobbling around. Hopefully the boot comes off and it doesn't look too bad. We will see. The other thing I want to talk about is goaltending. We've said it before coming into this series. I've made this point very clear a number of times over the course of the season. I don't care how good the opposing goaltender has been in a regular season. I don't care how good the opposing goaltender has been over the course of his career or in coming in or any of it. Do not care. What I care about is, does Vegas defend at a level high enough to make their goalie better than the other guy? It's happened through 2 games. It's happened. Jake Ottinger has not been as good as Logan Thompson. And partially, maybe more than partially, a big portion of it is because the job that is being asked of Logan Thompson is significantly easier than the job that is being asked of Jake Ottinger. If Jake Ottinger was the Golden Knights goalie and Logan Thompson was the Dallas Stars goalie, I believe the series is 2-0 for Vegas. I don't think Ottinger's playing very well, but I don't think they're asking that much out of Thompson. Now, he's made a couple of saves. The one he made on that kick save right after the big save by Ottinger was massive, absolutely massive. So to see that and understand that that's a moment where maybe it does give Dallas life, that's a big-time save. But you're going to need the goalie to make some saves. What you don't normally have is a 6-on-5 down the stretch and 6 minutes of game time against a team about to go in a 2-0 hole in their own building that scores a ton of goals on the season, and they don't get a single shot to the goalie. I save all of the shots in the last 6 minutes just by standing there because they didn't get any to the goalie. So we can talk about goalies, we cannot talk about goalies, whatever. Vegas's goalie has unequivocally been better than Dallas's goalie. Is he better across the course of his career? Will he be better next year? I don't know, probably not. But what the Golden Knights are asking of their goalie compared to what Dallas is asking of their goalie, Vegas's will do better. I believe if Aiden Hill was in there, the Golden Knights would be up 2-0. I believe if Laurent Brossoit was in there from last year, the Golden Knights would be up 2-0. I've been barking this over and over and over the entirety of the season, which is no matter what goalie is in there, the Golden Knights defense, it must be great in front of them. If he is, the goalie will look great. If it's not, the goalie will struggle. That's as simple as it's been. 2 games in, we're seeing exactly that. Is Logan Thompson running away and stealing this series? No, he is not. Vegas's defense is. That's what's going on. Let's see. What will the Golden Knights return to Vegas tonight? They will not. They are flying out tomorrow at some point. There is supposed to be a Cassidy press conference in the morning that we'll see if I make it to, because I need to probably get some sleep before I fly home. I'm going to try to make it to that one, but we shall see. If anybody else has any other questions, go ahead and pop it in the chat there. I see the question about Martinez's goals for. I don't know what it is. I don't have the ability to look it up while doing this. So somebody else look it up for me and we can, I don't know. It wasn't a lot. I know that. This Periscope is brought to you by the Jimmerson Law Firm. The Jimmerson Law Firm. I can't read it. Where do we go? I can't even, I can't think of it. I can't think. I lost my mind. Where is it? Hang on. How many times have I read the Jimmerson Law Firm read, and I can't think of it? The Jimmerson Law Firm is one of Las Vegas's preeminent law firms specializing in high-stakes business, civil, and family litigation. When winning matters, seek out the Jimmerson Law Firm. See, I can do it. I had the first 3 words. I couldn't think of one of Las Vegas's. I don't know why. Couldn't do it. There we go. Where are we at? What did I think of Logan Stankoven? I think Logan Stankoven has been spectacular. I think Logan Stankoven, I agree with you, has been not only one of Dallas's best players. I believe Logan Stankoven has been the best player on the Dallas Stars. That, in and of itself, is a massive problem for Dallas. Why this guy is giving Golden Knights as much trouble as he is, little bit confusing to me. Should not be the style of player that gives the Golden Knights this much trouble. Kind of gets up underneath guys. He's really good on the forecheck. His stick is incredibly strong. He does a lot of things for a little guy that you wouldn't think would really give this type of the Vegas defense much problems. He's been awesome. Like, I might even go as far as to say he might be the best offensive player in the series, and I don't even know if he has a point. He's been that aggressive, that helpful, and they moved him up the lineup. They had him with Hintz and Robertson. Granted, they had a couple of different injuries. I was unaware of some of those injuries down the stretch. So, yeah. Did anyone guess the Angry Guys chat? So for that story in the Discord, I was telling people that down below the press box today, there was some dude. I couldn't see him. He was far enough down that I couldn't recognize who the guy was. I don't know if he was old. I don't know if he was young. I don't know what he was. I have no guess. But all I kept hearing was him yelling things that he was angry about Vegas. He said, the fountains suck. He said, not Siegfried and Roy, Penn and Teller are awful. He said, MGM is overrated. He was saying all these different things. There was one other one that I can't remember. And so in the Discord, I was having people guess what his next insult would be towards Vegas. And he didn't have any. He ran out. The guy ran out. The guy basically became Dallas's offense in the third period. He's got no answers. He's got nothing left. He doesn't even know what sucks about Vegas. He can't even come up with something. We had all sorts of guesses for him. The guy had nothing. Took after the team. He had nothing for him. Yes, I agree. Noah Hannafin's been very good. Noah Hannafin has done a lot of good things in his own end. He's very good at helping get back on pucks. And I think the biggest part that we've noticed of Noah Hannafin in this series to this point is Noah Hannafin's ability to get back on the puck, hit that first pass, and get Pietrangelo skating upwards has been really, really good. That's very good. Do we see Nick Hague back in this series? They said they were going to reevaluate him when he comes back in Vegas. I don't think he goes back in, even if he's healthy, after Martinez had a pretty good game in that game. I'm not really sure why Zach Whitecloud was taking the brunt of like all of the attacks from Dallas in this game. I don't really know if that was Martinez related, if that's not getting back to the puck quickly enough. I don't know. Might have to look at that as we move forward, but I don't think I'd make a lineup change with how good they played defensively in this one. Did Dallas get the win sucked out of them? If so, and when? Yes, I think they absolutely did the moment Jack Eichel scored. They had a pretty darn good first period. They finally got themselves ahead. They finally started to feel like, wow, things are finally going our direction. And within, 60 seconds? I don't even think it was that much. No, it was like however long it was. Vegas has a great opportunity. First chance they get, bang, pucks in the back of the net, and it's a wide open opportunity. Like, how do you not get deflated off of that? And then as we move forward, well, they have no chances to score goals. It's not accurate, I know. Not many chances to score goals. LT for next game or Hill getting a chance. It will be Logan Thompson until it doesn't. It's not, right? Like, it's not going to be, we're just going to put Aiden Hill in there because we're playing well and we want to get both goalies in. No, it's going to be Logan's job until he loses it. And playing in front of this defense, I don't see why he will lose it. I just don't. All right, I think that's all I got. I know there were other questions. That's it. Yes, I'll answer this one. Isn't this a vintage Pete DeBoer playoff team? It sure is. When they come up against a team that they are not out-talenting or has a great defensive system that takes away their point shots and takes away their tips, his teams do not have answers. He has not been able to have answers. And thus far, this season, this postseason, through 2 games, they don't have answers. Think about the different creative looks that were thrown at the Golden Knights goal in these 2 games. There isn't one. There really isn't one. The most creative thing they did is Logan Stankoven stole the puck away from Mark Stone and then danced Noah Hannafin and passed the puck across, and Robertson scored 5-hole. That's it. That's all we got. So I did not get a green watch. I have one from San Jose from years ago. I believe I have a gold one from Vegas. I did not grab one of those. They do not bring them up to the press box. That is perfectly fine. I do not need one of those. Will DeBoer get fired? I don't know, and I don't particularly care right now. Least of my concerns is Dallas's coaching future. I don't really give a shit. The Golden Knights are up 2-0. They are coming home. Here, all right, Deanna asked this one twice, so I will answer it. I thought Whitecloud was good, but I didn't think he was great because I think he spent most of this game getting flattened. And I don't necessarily know why that was happening yet. So again, like I said, I need to go back and kind of figure it out. Why was he continuously the one getting flattened? What was that situation? But to me, like, a lot of those I thought were kind of allowing them to have more zone time or allowing them to have those big hits and kind of putting some of that energy back into them. Maybe that was a slightly different look for them. So I'm not going to say it was bad, but I don't look at him and say that's one of the best players we had in this particular game. Golden Knights are flying home tomorrow. There is a press conference in the morning that I'm going to try to get to, and then they are flying home after that. I fly home quite a bit later. I'm trying to do some sort of Twitter space or something tomorrow from the airport. We'll see how that works out. The flight's a little different timing than I thought, and I got some plans before I get out of here, so I don't know exactly if that's going to happen. If you are a subscriber to Subtext, we're going to do the Q&A probably on Friday night will be my guess. We'll kind of go through some of the things that have happened. We'll do that Q&A that we always do once a month. So get on there. If you want to join Subtext, go to joinsubtext.com/SinBin, SUBTEXT/SinBin, joinsubtext.com/SinBin. We send you updates on all the interesting news or lines or all that good stuff directly to your phone. You don't have to go on Twitter. You don't have to do any of it. It will buzz your phone like it's a text message. It's fantastic. Thanks again to the Jimmerson Law Firm for sponsoring all of SinBin's Periscopes on the road and at home this season. And while I am on the road, thanks to Vegas Night and Day Heating and Cooling for sponsoring all my road travel. Golden Knights are up 2-0. They are coming home with a commanding lead in this series. I believe this series is likely destined for being the Golden Knights and having it fairly easy. I do not think Dallas has much of a chance in this series anymore. You want my odds? It's like Vegas minus 2,000. I think they are that much in control of this series, and it's not because the games are at home. I think we could play 2 more games right on the other side of that wall, and I still really like Vegas's chances. I think it's way more likely Vegas sweeps this series as opposed to loses twice. I think it's way more likely Vegas in 4 than even Vegas in 7, or maybe even Vegas in 6. Dallas winning, don't see it happening. I think the Golden Knights are in excellent shape. Call me a homer, call me whatever you want. I think the Golden Knights are going to the second round. See you later. Good night.